Hey folks, welcome back to the Lone Pine Tarot. For today's pick a card reading, I asked Spirit to choose our topic for us, and when I drew the card asking, well, what topic would you like us to explore today, Spirit? Out came the Page of Swords. So, from that, I decided, well, the Page of Swords is an apprentice. They're the explorers of the mind, so why not do a reading about, as you can see by, well, the title down below, what secret has been hidden from you? We're going to go work with some Page of Swords energy today. And therefore, we're going to pick with 3 different decks using the Page of Swords from each one. So without further ado, let's do that. For my pile number 1s over here on the left, we have the Page of Swords from the Wild Reflections Tarot. And if you're interested in the back, here's what it looks like. For my pile number 2s, we are using the Ethereal Visions Tarot in the middle here. And here is the back. And for my pile number 3s, we're using the Tarot Landscapes deck over here. And here is the back for that deck. So if you're still undecided, you're still kind of figuring out what pile or multiple piles you would like read for you, feel free to pause on this part of the video right now. Go with your first gut instinct, I always tell people, and then whenever you are ready, drop down to the description box below and or the top pinned comment beneath the reading. Click on the timestamp and I will see you in our discussion about what secret has been hidden from you. Bye. Hello there, my awesome pile number 1s. Welcome to your pick a card reading today on the topic of what secret has been hidden from you that the universe or spirit wants you to know. As you recall, the deck used to pick your pile today was the Wild Reflections Tarot. So of course, as always, when we pick with decks, I like to put it right back into the deck so that we can use this card during the reading. So we'll slide him right back in there and do a nice shuffle. And then as always, we will draw the tarot cards on screen. So let's do that. So, Spirit, for my lovely pile number 1s, could you give me 5 tarot cards explaining more about what the secret that's been hidden from pile number 1s is? Thank you for their highest, best, good. 5 cards. Let's see what stands out to us. Okay, that one right there, number 1. 2, 3. Actually, I'm going to take the top one. I'm feeling the top one for some reason. Number 4, and then we have one more right there, number 5. So let's unveil your cards, pile number 1s, for your secret that's been hidden from you. First up, we have your Oracle cards. So from the Tea Leaf Fortune cards today, you received Broken Bridge, unsuccessful outcome to a problem. Okay, we're going to put that one up here. Next, from the Wild Harmonics Oracle, we received Earth of Spirit, nurturing boundaries. Looks like we have an egg with a crack here. Something about boundaries or putting them up or breaking them. Interesting. Set that one here, though I might place that elsewhere. I always say, I apologize to my pile number 1s. You're kind of my guinea pigs for figuring out the placement of the cards, so apologies. Thanks for being my pioneers. Next up from the Citadel Oracle, we have the Hound. Loyalty, chains, promises. Interesting. Something going on there. Loyalty, chains, and promises. Then from the Ask Your Guides Oracle, you received goals. I actually had this one in last reading, so if you were the one that picked the pile that had this card in last reading, well, hello again. From my last video, I should say, because there were 3 readings in that. So goals from Teacher Guides. Goals. Something about goals. Yeah, I'm feeling right off the bat, pile number 1s, this is either something to do with a friend of yours or an acquaintance where you had like a similar goal or working on something together, or it could be something related to work, career. And then let's unveil From the Sacred Destiny Oracle, you received opportunity. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I definitely get, like, there's some aspect here of you were looking for something or you were going towards something, some sort of goal, hence why there's a lot of, like, opportunity, goals, loyalty, unsuccessful outcome, and I think what happened is something went wrong and you always wondered why. I feel like that's the trajectory of this reading, pile number ones. Or you were denied an opportunity of some sort and you were like, well, why didn't I get that? Why not me? Like, what did I do wrong? And so that's what Spirit wants to talk to you about today, I think. But let's make sure we reveal your tarot cards before I say anything conclusive. But at least intuitively based on your oracle cards as well so far, that's what I'm feeling for you, pile number ones. So as for your tarot cards, we have the Three of Wands. Yep. You might get what I call a hammer reading. We'll talk about that in a second. Three of Wands is about going forth with plans for the future. Basically setting our ships to sail. Ships at a distance have every man's wish on board. I believe that's from... Oh, what book is that from? Their Eyes Were Watching God. I don't know why that quote came into my head, but it did. Good book. We have, okay, well, the Page of Swords popped up again. Hello, your pile leader. Page of Swords is like the apprentice or the explorer of the mind. Could also represent someone who's like in a student type role. It could represent someone who is very inquisitive and curious. Tends to be young, or at least young at heart, because it's the page. Talk about that more in a second. We have number 3, the Seven of Swords, deception or trickery. We have someone who's stepping out behind the tree. Looks like he's lining up a shot here soon. Yeah, I think pile number ones, this is about like an opportunity that was denied you and you always wondered why. And I'm pretty sure based on that Seven of Swords that there was some trickery afoot, and that's what the Spirit, or like the universe or Spirit, wants you to know. But yeah, Knight of Swords reverse, kind of similar. Lack of taking action with the mind, or lack of saying things, because it's like where action and air or like the mind meet in tarot. Knights are reversed. It's like in a negative aspect, like someone spoke against you, or it was like... Yeah, something to do with that betrayal. Someone either didn't take action or they took action in a negative way. And then last but not least, Three of Cups. This is about a social group. Could also be like an event together, but tends to be like a friend group or a group of people. Sometimes I see them as coworkers too, the Three of Cups. Yeah, you have what I call a hammer reading, pile number ones. And my longtime viewers are going to laugh because I always say this. A hammer reading basically is a reading where it's just like... bam, 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 like it's kind of the same message across the board. So what Spirit wants to talk to you about today, pile number ones, is, like I was saying before, the hidden secret is related to a situation where you had plans for the future, you had a goal in mind, and you were working really hard for it, or it was like an opportunity that you were working towards, but what happened is for some reason, and we'll get to that because I believe that's the secret that the universe wants to tell you, pile number ones. For some reason, you didn't meet that goal or you didn't get that opportunity and you were wondering, well, what the heck happened? Because I feel throughout, like intuitively, there's some feeling of confusion, like what did I do wrong? I don't know. I thought I placed everything right. I got all my T's crossed and my I's dotted, and I don't understand. I was kicking butt, basically. I mean, like, look at the goals here. She's doing, it looks like Taekwondo I always think of when I see that card. You're kicking butt, and you're like, I thought I was doing everything right, and then all of a sudden, especially emphasized by Broken Bridge here, it fell apart. Unsuccessful outcome to a problem, and you're like, okay, you're left with this broken thing, or this lost opportunity, or this feeling of defeat, or like it, it just slipped out of your hands and you were sitting there wondering, well, why? What happened? Like, I don't know. And it's like, I feel like you never got closure, pile number ones. And so it's something that could have even haunted you for many years because you were wondering, okay, well, was it my problem? Was it someone else's problem? Was it just not meant to be? And I think for most of you, like I was saying before, I'm pretty sure this has to do with either career or something that you were working on with like a friend group or a specific person, someone who you trusted a lot, or a group of people that you trusted a lot, especially because of like the Hound. It says loyalty, chains, and promises. And, we always think of dogs too as man's best friend. I'm kind of incorporating some Lenormand meaning in here, even though we didn't use the Lenormand deck today, but that's basically, what it represents when we think of a dog is, well, man's best friend, someone who's loyal, right? That type of thing. And what I'm going to tell you, pile number ones, it's kind of a harsh message, but I think what happened is there was some trickery afoot. And you know why I say that? Because you have the Seven of Swords here as the core tarot card. The Seven of Swords, I always call it the sneaky card, kind of humorously, but it tends to indicate somebody that's sneaking around, someone that's being a little bit not forthcoming, someone who's hiding something, that type of feeling. And especially, too, with the Three of Wands before that and the Page of Swords as the second card, I feel like whoever it was someone who was in a learning type role with the Page of Swords, especially someone who seems like very curious, intellectually smart, someone who's almost like an apprentice or a student is kind of how I see the Page of Swords. That too, like, I specifically based on this imagery, it technically is a young male, so it could have been a young man at the time, pile number ones, but anyone that kind of gives off that vibe, because at least the way I read tarot, I don't really necessarily ascribe to a card means a certain gender all the time, other than maybe the Empress and the Emperor, right? But yes, so someone young, someone intellectually curious. It could have been in a field or a goal related to something that's intellectually stimulating. So it could be something scientific. It could be something having to use a lot or express a lot of power in the mind. That type of goal or that type of career area. You had plans for the future. They had plans for the future here with the Three of Wands. That's kind of the starting energy of, looking out the window and, hey, I'm setting off. I'm going to go forward with this. We have someone who he looks like a landscape photographer or photographer of some sort. He's got a camera right here, right? And based on that action of, okay, I'm making plans for my own future, this person came in and there was deception afoot. And I believe what happened was, or the action that they took was symbolized here by the Knight of Swords reversed. That's someone that either lacks action with their words or their mind, or they do something negative with words or their mind or their speech. So it's either they said something that was against you or they didn't stick up for you. It could have been either or, like a negative manifestation of either didn't speak enough or spoke too much, or like in a bad way. Lying, I guess is how you would put that. And what happened is with the Three of Cups at the end here is that it influenced a group of people. A social group specifically is what the Three of Cups typically means, or like a gathering sometimes. Maybe it was something like you were supposed to do something with this person and they got you like kicked out of something of a group, or it's like they turned a group against you, and that's what happened. And so, sorry, it's kind of a negative reading, pile number ones, but from what I'm seeing, I believe the hidden secret is, with a silver lining, it wasn't your fault that you lost out on this opportunity. What happened is that there was someone that was being sneaky here with the Seven of Swords. Someone who spoke illy or against or not enough, didn't stick up for you when they were supposed to, and it affected something to do with a group of people with the Three of Cups. Now, that group of people could be either a workplace, it could be a group of people that were involved with whatever this goal is. And then two, we have, just looking at the Hound here, we'll go back to this card. Like I said, man's best friend is the dog or the Hound, right? But there's something here about promises, loyalty, and chains. And so, especially with the symbolism here of it's almost like the Hound is like biting the sword. It's like, and swords in symbology with cartomancy often represent, air, number one, but also truth or words. It's like they ate the truth and they weren't speaking the truth, and the truth broke down because there was something about what they wanted or who you were that they were trying to thwart. I think it wasn't necessarily a personal thing, pile number ones. I think with the Three of Wands here, it was more so out of their own ambitions, and so they unfortunately might have stepped on you up the ladder to get above where you are or where they were at that point, okay? So the hidden secret, pile number ones, is that whatever the situation was, whatever happened specifically for you as a general reading, everyone's going to be just a bit different is what I always say. Whatever happened with this situation, it wasn't your fault. It was not a flaw of your character. It was not a flaw of your skills. It was not a flaw of, because especially I see here with goals here, we have someone who looks very ambitious. This is someone who is, she's doing like almost like a perfect split here with almost looks like a Taekwondo kick. At least that's the martial art I'm personally familiar with or participated in. And someone who like seems like they're very capable. But the problem is that someone got in the way, someone who you trusted got in the way, and they kind of cut you off at the gate because they had their own ambitions in mind. So the positive side is it wasn't your fault, pile number one. So I'll just reiterate that because, especially if this has been haunting you for a long time, like maybe it's been knocking your confidence, maybe it's been maybe you've gotten even a little bit of imposter syndrome from it, or maybe you felt like, oh, well, if they turned a group against me, like I feel like I'm at fault or there's something wrong with me. But the answer is, pile number one, no, there's not anything wrong with you. Okay, at least in this situation, there's not anything wrong with you're perfectly capable. It's just this person had some sneaky ambitions here with that Seven of Swords and the Three of Wands before the Page of Swords here. They spoke illy. They took action in a negative way with their words. I think they said something, especially with that Knight of Swords reversed. And like I said, with the Three of Cups, unfortunately, it affected your reputation in a group. And so that's why you lost out on that opportunity, or that it could have been like a promotion. It could have been something general with career, maybe a project. It could have been, maybe your reputation in a community, something along those lines, okay? I'm trying to think of additional questions I want to ask for you, pile number ones, to kind of glean more details into what happened and why and who this was. Though we didn't talk about nurturing boundaries, Earth of Spirit. So this card specifically is about either creating boundaries or breaking them, because represented by the egg, sometimes boundaries are great because they protect us, like, the egg protects like a baby bird, right? But sometimes you have to break through boundaries in order to get forward and out of your shell, is kind of what that card is talking about. And so, sorry, one moment of silence. Getting an intuitive message. Apologies for the silence. Yeah, it's someone who overcame your boundaries, someone who cracked through your boundaries here. Like they might have thought you were too soft for it anyways, and so they thought, well, I'm gonna steamroll ahead and I'm gonna be the person that gets it instead. I get a very like sabotage type feel out of this card. And especially, too, with the symbolism of, like, the egg, I think of innocence. Especially on your part, pile number ones. It's just they broke through. Yeah, I don't get very good vibes off of this person. Whoever it was that seems like they sabotaged you, pile ones, yeah, they're not someone who cares about boundaries. They're not someone who cares about what's right. They care about ambition here with like the Three of Wands. They care about what they want to get, and they'll step on anybody in their way. So that's the feeling I'm getting off this person. And yeah, not a good feeling, pile number ones, especially if you had at least initially blamed yourself, not knowing that maybe somebody had done something to thwart your chances with whatever this goal or project or probably could have been a promotion was. Yeah, so I'm going to ask a few more questions here, pile number ones. Let's see, what's a good question to ask? Spirit, can you tell me more about the reasons this person had for what they did? I mean, I already kind of get the feeling that it was just out of, being a jerk. But let's just see, maybe 3 cards, please. What were their reasons? Why sabotage, pile number ones? Why were they being sneaky? What happened? Okay, 1, we have the moon, illusions. Some things aren't what they seem. Number 2, we have the 3 of Pentacles reversed, lack of teamwork. Yep. So there's someone that doesn't play very well with others with the Three of Pentacles reversed, and with the Moon, there's someone who really seems like they seem like someone that they're not. They're very deceptive, pile number ones, and I think you're probably not the only person they've ever deceived, honestly. Yeah, Eight of Pentacles, someone who's very hardworking, someone who'll do anything to get ahead with work, especially because the Eight of Pentacles, well, the suit of Pentacles in general is a card of career, or it's the suit of career and material gain. Yeah, unfortunately, pile number ones, there's no reason really why they did this other than they're not a team player. They're not very fair to the people that they work with, especially symbolized by the Three of Pentacles reversed here. They're not who they seem. I feel like they're one of those people who they're really good at coming off as very prim and proper and nice to people, but there's kind of a sheen underneath here with the Moon, meaning illusions. Like, and you know, that's funny. I just noticed that. You have the dog coming up again here, but there's a wolf. And that's kind of the symbolism of the Moon, is that the dog and the wolf being on both sides, it's kind of, or at least in the traditional depiction of it, this one's a little bit different, but the traditional depiction of the Moon in the Rider-Waite-Smith deck, the one you see everywhere, the common one, is that it's like wondering, well, okay, who's the dog and who's the wolf? Is it actually dangerous? Is it not? Yeah, there's someone who comes off as really loyal and has the best intentions here, especially because, you know, look at this. You had the Hound here too. Loyalty, chains, and promises. But they're actually a wolf in sheep's clothing. That's how I would describe them, pile number ones. I do not think you're the only person they've ever screwed over, to be honest. I think they do it to everybody, and so I don't think it was a personal thing. I think it's just that they're so focused on career climbing and ladder climbing here with the Eight of Pentacles. They just want that money. They just want that fame or acclaim. They just want that notoriety. And they'll do anything to get to it, I'm feeling like. So they come off as really nice and saintly, but really they're the wolf in sheep's clothing, like I said. They do not play well with others. So to be honest, pile number ones, it's very possible that because they don't play well with others with that Three of Pentacles reversed, that other people have been very likely screwed over by them. And so it could have been even afterwards, other people in this social group found out, or this work group found out, hey, wait a minute, this guy's a jerk. Or it could have been a woman, too. I'm getting masculine vibes off of it, but not necessarily. It could just be masculine vibes in terms of someone who is more, you know, more like career ambitious, or someone who's more about, like, authority. That type of masculine energy spiritually is what I'm talking about. But, yeah, like, so maybe afterwards they found out because they got screwed over at one point, too, and they were like, well, wait a minute. This guy's a jerk, like, but they didn't see that because he was a wolf in sheep's clothing, or, you know, a wolf in a nice best friend, man's best friend clothing, but actually they're not. They just want that money, they want that career climbing, they want to look good, and they do not care who they step on to get there, who's in their way, quote unquote. Okay, so that's what I'm feeling for you, pile number one. So for sure, do not feel bad whatsoever about yourself. This was someone being sneaky, and I'm going to be frankly honest, they're a jerk. So this is not someone who's fun to be around. This is, you know, a career climber, a clout chaser, and you just happen to be their victim that day, or that particular area of time. Let's see if there's any other questions I want to ask. Anything pertinent that would be very good for this reading. 1 second. I'm going to take a drink while I take a pause here. Apologies. Yeah, what a jerk. Holy crap. I'm sorry, pile number ones. You got screwed over by a jerk. Well, they're common enough, I suppose. I'm going to shuffle my cards here off screen. Definitely a jerk. Let's ask a little bit more about who it was. I'm going to just see if I can get more details on who it was. Spirit, could you tell me about more who this person is that would help pile one recognize who it was? Thank you. Piles, there's, excuse me, 3 cards. Who are they? So the Hierophant reversed is someone who bucks tradition, lets go of tradition, does not play well with authority, or they want to be the authority, so they topple authority down. Yeah. Who are they? The Star, someone who has a lot of ambitions, hopes, and faith and dreams. Very ambitious. It's like they believe they're destined for it, so you just get out of their way. Like, holy crap, this person's not fun. Holy crap. And then we have, let's see, the World. Lots of major arcana. I feel like they also taught you a lesson in life, pile number ones. I say that because my longtime viewers will know what I'm going to say is when I see a lot of major arcana in a reading together, it tends to represent to me as a reader that this is a major life lesson related to either the person we're talking about in the reading or yourself, the querent. Yeah, and then the World is about finality, like the curtain close or something coming to an end, like a satisfactory end. A lot about closing the eyes, too. I feel like they don't even feel bad. Like, they close their eyes. Like, they know it's wrong, but they close their eyes to it because it's like, well, they know if they introspected more about it, that it would cause some actual growth, and they don't want to feel bad about themselves, so they just, it's like eyes wide shut. Yeah, so someone who does not play well with authority here with the Hierophant reversed. Speaking about who this person is more, just to glean some more details for you. Someone who's not very spiritual is another interpretation of the Hierophant reversed. Or is spiritual in a bad way, like they use it for, like, spiritual, like, abuse, or they abuse spirituality. Yeah, someone who gets rid of tradition, someone who changes a lot of things can be another interpretation of the Hierophant reversed. And then the Star is interesting, because like I said, usually it means, like, retaining hope or faith in something. I feel like it's like they almost feel like they're destined for things. And then she's pouring, it looks like tea here. Yeah, someone who comes off as just very prim and proper, especially like, that's what I associate with tea, but like they're almost like ritualistic about it. Like they've done it so often that it's just second nature. Wow, this person's, wow. Don't cross their path ever again, pile number ones. You don't want them in your life. And then we have the World, yeah, as like ending, satisfactory close. Someone who's like sleeping. Like they've done their thing and they're done. You know, they might not do it anymore, and maybe that's another reason why they got away with it, pile number ones, is because they only have done it like a few times, and so it's not so consistent that other people recognize the pattern except the people that are victims of whoever this is. That's like one interpretation I feel coming off of the World. And they're very guarded, I feel like. They're not very open about who they are. I don't want to, like, clinically analyze anyone in a tarot reading, but they almost give me, like, sociopath vibes. It's just someone who is very, they don't care, or they don't want to introspect. Someone who's not very, I also feel like they lack self-awareness is another indicator as to who this is, pile number ones. Yeah, if they're still in your life, drop them, man. Holy crap. This person. So I think that's part of maybe why you didn't really know whether or not it was your fault losing out on this goal or this opportunity or with this group, pile ones, is because they came off so nice to other people and they're so guarded about who they really are that it's like, it's hard to point out what they did because they're so sneaky and good about it. They're so good about coming off so nice. And that's who this person is. Yeah, very ambitious, will step on anybody in their way. So, I mean, just to summarize the reading, pile number ones, just remember it wasn't your fault, and that's what the universe is really wanting to emphasize to your spirit team. You know, God, whatever your beliefs are. They want to emphasize that this was not your fault in whatsoever anyway, because this person just, they're a wolf in sheep's clothing. They come off as a best friend. They come off as really nice, but they just stab people in the back. It seems like they're not, yeah. They want to be the star. They want to be running the show, and they're very ambitious, and they'll just step on anybody. So, yeah, silver lining, pile number ones, and this is the reason the universe wanted to say this to you, is because they want you to recognize that this wasn't your fault, and there's no need to feel a lack of confidence because of what happened, because it wasn't that you lost out on your own merit. You lost out because someone undermined you, is how I would summarize your reading, and that's the secret that they want to reveal to you today, so that it gives you peace of mind in this area of your life, okay? So yes, that's your hidden secret. It wasn't your fault, okay? I will leave you with that today, my lovely pile number ones. As always, I hope that reading was helpful for you. I wish you a wonderful rest of your day, and I hope to see you in the next reading. Bye. Hello there, my awesome pile number twos. Welcome to your pick a card reading today on the topic of what secret has been hidden from you. As I recall, the deck you used to pick your pile today was Ethereal Visions. So as always, when we pick by decks, I like to put the pile leader right back into the deck and shuffle. So we have that one available to come out if it would like to when we shuffle the cards. And as always, I like to actually draw the tarot cards on screen. So let's do that right now. So Spirit team of pile number twos, Guardian Angels of pile number twos, could you give me 5 different cards explaining more about what secret has been hidden from them that you would like them to know? Thank you. Okay, well, that one for sure. Put that one out. Number 1. And yeah, that one for sure as well. Number 2. I'm actually going to pull that one as well. 3. Number 4. And number 5. Let's reveal your cards, pile number twos. We'll reveal the Oracle cards first, so let's look at those. From the Tea Leaf Fortunes, you received Unicorn. Oh, cute. Use your intention to make beneficial changes. Use your intuition to make beneficial changes. Then from the Wild Harmonics Oracle, you received, looks like Fire of Spirit, Talismanic Access. Almost gives me the Magician vibes from tarot, if you're familiar with that card. Where will meets spirit. Okay. Then from the Citadel Oracle, today you received the Air. Unseen Potential, Hesitation. Unseen Potential and Hesitation. I'm going to shift these around a little bit, make it more even. From the Ask Your Guides Oracle today, you received, okay, Loss. Losing something. And last but not least, from the Sacred Destiny Oracle today, you received, oh beautiful, New Beginnings. Symbolized by the dawn, very fitting. Unseen Potential, Hesitation, New Beginnings. Let's see, Beneficial Changes. Loss. And let's reveal your tarot cards. First up, we have the Knight of Swords reversed. Okay. Pile number 1's also got this card. We'll see if you have any more similarities. Knight of Swords reversed is all about either lack of taking action with the way we speak or with the mind, or it can be someone who is there's negatively speaks or does not speak up enough. Interesting. Number 2, we have the Ten of Swords, the Swords of Betrayal, or sometimes can mean being at the end of something, or we feel like it's the end, but we're still carrying on. That card's kind of dependent on the other cards around it. We'll see what else pops out for you, pile twos. We have the Hermit reversed, coming out of our shell or something coming to light. Number 4, we have, okay, so pile number 2s, I'm just going to tell you right now, you are very similar to pile number 1s. So if you in any way were drawn to pile number 1s, I would recommend maybe viewing that pile as well. Of course, you can always choose how many you would like to view, but you're getting a lot of similar cards. The Seven of Swords is about deception or trickery. This is the man trying to get away from camp, having stolen all the swords. He's being, I call it the sneaky card for a reason. Yeah, you're very similar to pile number 1s. It's kind of creepy, actually. And then number 5, we have the Two of Pentacles reversed. That's all about feeling imbalance or a lack of balance in some area. Sometimes it can mean feeling like we aren't able to juggle, or there's too much to juggle. Overwhelmed is another really good keyword for the Two of Pentacles reversed. Yeah. Okay, so apologies for just a second of silence here, pile twos, as I look over your cards, but you're pretty similar to pile number 1s. It's almost kind of scary. Like I said, if you were drawn to that pile, feel free to look at pile number 1 as well, but Okay. Something hidden from you. You know, there is a slight difference from pile number 1's, though. So let's get into that. So, pile number 2 is, if I had to summarize your reading about what's the unseen thing or what secret has been hidden from you, I feel like there was an area of your life where you lost out on something. You were trying to get better at something, or you were trying to attain or achieve something, and unfortunately it turned out for the bad. I say that because you have the loss card here, which is kind of what it says on the tin, like, I lost out on something, I lost something. It's about something missing, it's about something taken from you, is how I'm feeling, okay? And the interesting thing, though, and this is where you differ from pile number 1's, is that they lost out on something because they were deceived and tricked by somebody. And you're very similar, but the way their person deceived them was about, like, naysaying them. The way someone deceived you, pile number 2's, in this area, and this is the secret, okay, so pay attention. The way someone deceived you or betrayed you was because they took away the tools that you needed to get the job done or attain that thing. They sabotaged you in a way that was more about the tools you needed to get the job done rather than naysaying you like pile number 1's. But like I said, if you were drawn to pile number 1 as well, feel free to view that reading, because it could have been that for those of you who were drawn to both, this person could have sabotaged you both verbally and taking tools and the materials that you needed away too. So it could have been like a twofold sort of betrayal. And yeah, it's kind of sad because it seems like a lot of piles today, the secret is, oh, someone betrayed you. And yeah, so let's get into why and why I'm saying that, or where I'm coming from that conclusion. So the reason I say that pile number 2 is because you have the 7 of Swords here. This is a card of someone betraying you. This is the card of, and especially with the 10 of Swords, because literally, like, look, I mean, this is someone getting stabbed in the back, literally. Like, ow. The stab in the back card. Sometimes it can mean, you know, carrying on after a time of betrayal or after we feel like it's the end. But I think for you, someone was not very nice to you, is how I'll put it very politely. So, yeah, stabbed you in the back, betrayed you. And so the secret is I feel like pile number 1's, you might have taken it out on yourself as to why you lost this thing. You might have blamed yourself. You might have thought, it was my fault. I'm not good enough. I feel like, you know, maybe I just wasn't ready, or I wasn't, you know, the perfect person for whatever this was. And I say that because you also have the air, unseen potential, and hesitation. It was meant for you, pile number 2's. Because when you think of an heir, right, you think of someone who is destined to inherit something. Especially when we think of, I mean, the traditional stereotypical thing is, you think of like the heir to a throne. It was like something that you were supposed to inherit. So it literally could mean like family related heir, you know, could have been a family issue we're talking about here. Someone in your family that stabbed you in the back a little bit. Or it could be that this is like something to do with a business or a job. Either way, it was supposed to go to you, pile 2's. It was supposed to go to you. But something happened where someone else involved stabbed you in the back. And that's the hidden secret here. Like pile number 1's very similar. It's very creepy. And I'm trying to glean why they did it. Because it's easy to say that it was just because of ambition. Like that's where pile number 1's, like why someone betrayed them. It was just their person just like to step over people who got in their way to ambition, right? Not a very nice person. As for you though, pile 2's. So we have the Knight of Swords speaking badly. Betrayal coming to light. You know what it is, pile number 2's? I think they betrayed you because they felt like they were doing a justice. And I know that sounds really crooked and twisted, but, you know, that's the thing is that, what's that common quote? Every villain is the hero of their own story. I think they thought they were justified for doing it. I think they thought, well, it was, you know, like, I'm owed and I'm getting screwed over, so I'm going to screw pile number 2 over and I'm going to get what's mine. That's kind of intuitively the feeling I'm getting off of this reading. Like, that was the reason. So it wasn't so much out of, like, I'm just going to step on everybody in my way like pile number 1's betrayer was. Yours was more, I'm owed this and they're in my way. Like, that's kind of more the distinct feeling I have for you, pile number 2, is from this person. And so, yeah, they spoke illy with the Knight of Swords reversed, stabbed you in the back with the Ten of Swords, thought, I'm going to get them out of my way. You know, and even especially too with the connection to the heir. I mean, that happened a lot in real life with royalty, is sometimes when someone wanted to inherit the throne, they would get their siblings out of the way. I mean, across multiple cultures, I know some Asian countries had royalty that acted like that for sure. A lot of European countries had royalty that acted like that. Just, you're in my way, get out of my way. There goes the knife in the back, right? That type of feeling. Yes. And it was like this deep-seated resentment had come to light where maybe you didn't really notice it quite before, especially with the Hermit reversed, because that's like knowledge coming to light or something coming out of its shell. Like, you never would have expected it from this person, and then all of a sudden, boom, like, you're like, well, where'd this come from? But they were so deceptive about it, so silver-tongued about it with that Seven of Swords especially, and the Abundance of Swords too tells me this is someone who's very silver-tongued. They're very good about, I'd almost say they're good about manipulating people. They're very good about weaving their tongue to spin tales that, you know, they get people to agree with them or see you in a bad light, things like that. And so what happened is that it all kind of came falling down here, and then with the Two of Pentacles reversed at the end here, especially with it being Pentacles, I almost feel like it could have been even financially motivated, because the Pentacles are the suit of money, earth, things like that, the material around us. And yeah, I feel like they just screwed you over. They thought, I'm owed, get out of my way, vamoose, and then came the backstab, the deception here with the Seven of Swords, things coming to light with the Hermit, and then, yeah, the Two of Pentacles reversed is imbalance. Things were not fair. Money was not fair. Especially, too, I feel like there could have even been, especially for those of you where this is like an inheritance-related thing, especially with the abundance of air imagery and backstabbing. I mean, you might have even done more work for your family or your parents than this person did. It could have been likely a sibling is usually where these issues come up when it comes to family. And, like, they thought, well, no, I'm the one owed. I did more work. This is unfair. And then, yeah, that's why they felt like they were owed more, which is really sad because, honestly, when it comes to family, taking care of family, it shouldn't be about, well, who owes who more. It should just be based on love and, you know, doing things out of the goodness of our hearts. But unfortunately, as we all know, there's a lot of spats over things like inheritance, or, like I said, for some of you, this could be related to a job where you were meant to be the one to take the mantle next. You were the one supposed to inherit the crown, metaphorically speaking. But it was taken from you because someone thought they were owed that instead of you. And that's the hidden secret pile. Number 2 is, excuse me, I'm going to just take a drink. The hidden secret is someone took it from you, what was meant for you. And so if you grieved over that pile number 2 is you thought maybe the people involved, you know, didn't like you anymore, or they thought you weren't meant to have this thing or take this promotion or inherit this business or get this inheritance if it was family related. It wasn't so much that, like, that was the truth. It was just that was the silver tongue spinning of whoever this person was that betrayed you, okay? And let's see here, especially with talismanic access, fire of spirit, because fire is representative of the will, of ambition in cartomancy. And this card specifically is about, like, making something real, manifesting it, but, you know, thinking about what tools do I need. And that's kind of I feel like that's the thought process of this person was, they thought about it very, like, mechanicalistically, like, just obviously kind of heartless, because if they're going to step on other people to get in the way, you know, to get out of their way for whatever it is they're looking for, likely it seems like money in this situation with the Two of Pentacles reversed here. Yep, they wanted it and they were going to take it. And so they took away your access or your tools that you needed to succeed in this area, especially if this was a job-related thing. Could have been a coworker that, you know, took away the tools you needed or didn't give you the information you needed, especially with that Knight of Swords reversed. Not taking action with our words is kind of one meaning of the Knight of Swords reversed. And so, yeah, honestly, I'm just going to say, obviously, they sabotaged you, kind of like pile number ones. Yeah, and then looking at new beginnings, that's interesting. Though I feel like, yeah, it was like, especially with new beginnings, we think of the dawn. It was like a new era, a new generation, and that's where a lot of, once again, this family symbolism comes out, or like a new generation of someone taking the mantle at a company or a workplace or a business. New beginnings. And then use your intuition to make beneficial changes. You know, that too, I feel like maybe they thought they should get it because they would have, especially if this is like a work-related thing, pile twos, they thought they should get it because they thought they would make better changes than you at this workplace. Like, I'm going to completely refresh this. I'm going to make it right. It's very much the emblematic, every villain is the hero of their own story. They thought they were being the hero in a twisted way, because obviously, you know, you're not a hero if you screw people over, but, you know, they kind of obviously kind of blocked that out when they were thinking about what they did. Also, apologies for the sirens in the background. Yeah. And the new beginnings, too. Very much so like a hero complex with this person. So let's read some more cards here. I want to pull some cards related to... I want to know why. I asked this for pile number ones as well, and I know we already kind of explored they thought they would do better with it, they thought they deserved it, like you were in their way, and like, it's mine, not yours, you know, that kind of nasty stuff, but I'm going to ask more why. Spirit, can you tell me more about why this person did this? 3 cards, please. Why? What spurred them? So the Hanged Man, okay, sometimes that can mean needing sacrifice or a new perspective. And then with the World reversed, once again, another card that pile number one's got. This is kind of scary. So the World reversed is all about feeling like something's not at its end. It's not supposed to end this way. Yeah. And then the 6 of Cups reversed. Yeah, okay, so this is the childhood card, and obviously you can see there's siblings in this card. Yeah, I'm pretty sure for most of you this is a family-related thing. It could have been some sibling jealousy type reason. Like maybe they thought, well, you know, you get everything and mom and dad or our parents never give me anything, so I'm owed. Like that kind of entitled mentality. Yeah, unfortunately it's very common. I've heard of it in many families before. And like I'm owed, and like sibling rivalry almost, especially too with especially the 6 of Cups being reversed. That's about the negative aspect of nostalgia or childhood. Yeah, bad sibling relationship here. And then 2 with the Hangman reversed is either like needing to sacrifice. Like it's like they thought that they sacrificed so much that they were owed with the Hangman reverse, but they weren't looking at it from the right perspective. And then the World reversed is... It's almost like they thought it shouldn't end this way. Funny, too, because you got new beginnings as well. So you have like a card of endings and you have a card of beginnings. Like they wanted to... That, or it was like whoever they were inheriting this from... They thought because they had a bad beginning with whoever was passing this down, it could have been like from parent to child, of course, or like, you know, business owner to employee. Well, I had a bad beginning, so I'm going to rewrite it with the ending, is intuitively what I'm hearing here. Yeah, ouch. Definitely villain, hero of their own story. Well, I sacrificed so much, and I'm owed. That's why. Yeah, and then I want to ask one last question here for pile number 2 is, let's see. You know, for pile number 1s, I tried to glean more information about who this was, but I feel like it's very much more a direct answer here for you, pile number 2s, as to who this was, especially because we did get, like, the childhood card with the 6 of Cups reversed. I'm trying to think of a more useful question to ask for your third one. Let's see. I want to ask, like, what their retribution will be for what they did. Because I feel like oftentimes when we're betrayed in life, one of the most helpful peace-bringing things is to learn maybe what happens to them afterwards. Like, will this ever have a fallout? Or, maybe it already did, but let's ask that. So, Spirit, for my lovely pile number 2s, could you give me 3 cards explaining, like, what's the fallout of this? Will they ever be discovered for what they did? Or, like, what are the repercussions of what they did? Thank you. 3 cards, please. Okay, yep. Definitely that one. Ooh, yeah, King of Pentacles reversed. Well, not good finances. I can tell you that. Talk about that more in a second. Ooh, the Devil reversed. Okay. And we have the High Priestess reversed. Lots of major arcana. Definitely a major life lesson related thing then. Let's see here. Like, what's the fallout? 1 second. Well, I'll tell you what, pile number 2s. If they got money out of this, or if it's something money related that they're managing, like a business, they're not going to do very well. That King of Pentacles reversed is someone who is not very good about managing external material wealth. Either they lose the money or they've lost the money. Or the business will just tank because of what they, like, I'll tell you what, whoever this is, pile number 2s, yeah, they're not gonna, yeah, the money that, or the claim or the thing that they were looking to seek, they're going to lose here, if it's a material thing. And then what's interesting, too, is, yeah, the Devil reversed, and then the High Priestess reversed. The Devil reversed is being freed from something, being freed from our money. And then the High Priestess reversed is about not listening to our intuition. Yeah, to summarize, it's not going to end good for them, whoever this was that betrayed you. So that's a very comforting thing, pile number 2s. And I think that's one of the reasons why, your spirit team, spirit, God, your guardian angels, whatever you prefer is your own belief, wanted you to know what the secret was because they want you to know that there is fallout for what this was. This is not gonna be missed on Heaven's Ledger. They're gonna be like, oh, wait a minute, this person was a jerk. And so, this screams karma to me, is what these 3 cards are telling me. Especially with the King of Pentacles reversed, but also, too, like, the Devil is reversed is like freeing yourselves from the chains of something. But in this case, being next to the King of Pentacles, it's like being freed from material security, because we didn't listen to the voice within with the High Priestess reversed. Yeah, they're not gonna have fun with this. So at least, yeah, it sucks in the initial aspect of, hey, someone stabbed me in the back here, especially if it was a sibling, especially with family conflicts. Like, that's always the hardest thing, because you'd think blood, right, would be a reason for people to get along. I mean, but, like they always say, the blood of the covenant is thicker than the water of the womb sometimes. And so, yeah, but they won't go unpunished, pile number 2s. Either in this life or past it. Definitely lots of karma vibes here. Let's see if there's anything else from your reading before we close out. I feel like, too, another silver lining of your reading, pile number 2, is that you, especially for those of you where this was like a business that was handed down, or like a position at a company with unseen potential with your heir, it's like you still have the skills needed to take this or to handle this really well. And so if you haven't explored an avenue yet about, especially career-wise, for those of you this is career applicated, I would almost keep going in that direction. Like, don't get dispirited. Don't feel like it was your fault, or that you lacked the skills, or you lacked the responsibility to be given this. It was just that someone kind of just sabotaged you, pile number 2s. Keep going with it. Because I think if you were to explore this avenue, despite this betrayal, I mean, not only is it kind of a, I'll put it bluntly, not only is it kind of a middle finger to the person that betrayed you if you succeed despite this, it's also honoring yourself and honoring your own skills by giving yourself a chance where possible despite this setback. Because I think something similar is meant for you, and or eventually if if it's a business and they do lose the business, or it's going badly and they need someone to step in and they finally, swallow their pride. That's where you're going to shine, pile number 2s. And that's why the universe or your spirit team, whatever you prefer, wants you to know this hidden secret. Is that it wasn't a flaw of your own. It was a flaw in someone else that tried to take you out. And that's your hidden secret for today. Yeah. Especially with new beginnings here I know we talked about that in relevance to the person who betrayed you, but I feel like it's also relevant to you, pile number 2s, you as the querent. Like, there is a new dawn coming in this chapter. Like, it's not quite closed yet. Maybe that's why was that the world that came out earlier? Yeah, it's why the world reversed came out earlier too. It's like something's not coming to a close yet. This isn't done yet. So keep an eye for developments in this area, even if you've already felt like this is said and done and there's nothing you can do to change it, because I feel like there's something still coming along. Okay, so I'll leave you with that, pile number 2s. As always, I hope that reading was helpful for you. I wish you a wonderful rest of your day, and I hope to see you in the next reading. Bye. Hello there, my awesome pile number 3s. Welcome to your pick a card reading today on the topic of what secret has been hidden from you that the universe wants you to know. As you recall, the deck you used to pick your pile today was the Tarot Landscapes. It looks like I think it's an eagle or it could be an osprey flying through a storm. So as always, when we pick with decks, I like to put the card right back into the deck so it's available for when we draw the cards. And let's do that right now. So I'm going to shuffle on screen and then pull your tarot cards. Whoopsie. That was a very poor shuffle. We'll try that again. I sometimes struggle with the bigger decks because I have little tiny hands, I always tell my viewers. So my longtime viewers know I have the tiny baby hand struggle. There we go, that's better. Beautiful shuffle. So, spirit team of pile number 3s, could you give me 5 cards explaining more about what secret has been hidden from them that you want them to know? Thank you. 5 cards for their, okay, well, look at that. For their highest, best good. So we have, that was card number 1. And, oh, actually we have 3. Card number 2 and 3. We'll keep those face up. Get a bit of a sneak peek here. And then we have 2 cards more to draw, so let's see what pops out. That one, number 4. I'm going to pick that one, number 5. So let's reveal your cards, pile 3s. First we'll look at the Oracle decks. From the Tea Leaf Fortunes today you received, ooh, cute, heart. We have love, deep affection, and caring. Could be romantic, could be a deep friendship, could be something to do with family. We'll see what happens. From the Wild Harmonics Oracle today, we received Earth of Dimensional, creating sacred. So this card, just to summarize, is a lot about cultivating sacredness and virtue in everything we do. It's where meaning meets material. Because of Earth touching dimensional, right? The Earth, we think of the things around us. Dimensional, we think of meaning from above or meaning from within. Talk about that more in a second. I'm going to shift these just a bit. From the Citadel Oracle today, you received the Catalyst, radical changes and taking control. The Catalyst, taking control, radical changes. Interesting picture forming. From the Ask Your Guides Oracle today, you received Purpose from Teacher Guides. What guides us in what we do. Purpose. Interesting. And then last but not least, from the Oracle cards, we have from the Sacred Destiny, Embracing with, looks like a heron, I believe that animal is. Represented by where the marsh or earth meets water in the lake, or it could be a river technically. Embracing. Muddied lines. There we go. And then let's reveal your tarot cards, even though, well, we did already see some of them. They flipped over. So the first one is the Knight of Pentacles reversed. So the Knight of Pentacles reversed is either a lack of taking action in the material world, or someone that's been struggling in that area, struggling to make material action. Number 2, we have the Hanged Man. Sometimes can mean sacrifice, sometimes can mean needing or shifting to a different perspective on things. Which is interesting because, I'm just going to set these cards down for a second. You have, what really struck me with this particular Knight of Pentacles is, at first I thought it was upright because I saw the reflection here of the elephant in the water, but actually it's reversed, so the actual elephant is up here, or down here I should say. And yeah, the Hangman is about like a different perspective, seeing something upside down. It's an interesting connection there. We'll talk about that more in a second. And then these cards you already kind of saw. We have the Four of Wands, which is all about the home, feeling at home. Sometimes can mean celebration at home, feeling comfortable. We have the Ace of Pentacles reversed. Similar to the Knight of Pentacles reversed, but it's about like a lack of opportunity. It feels like something just hasn't been given to somebody in terms of the material world. Sometimes it can represent like feeling like a lack of response to like applying for jobs, or a lack of money for something we're doing. Like the universe is just against us in the material plane in some case. And then last but not least, we have the Nine of Pentacles, the fruits of our labor. Yep. You definitely have a reading about getting out of something of what you put in, is how I'll put that, pile 3s. I'm going to take just a little teeny break to take a drink and look over your cards. Apologies for 1 second or 2 of silence here. Yep, okay. So, pile 3s. What I want to start out with your reading today with is, this secret is something to do with an area of your life where you feel like you're going in the wrong direction, or you feel like you're going in a direction that's not aligned with what you want, or not aligned with your values, or not aligned with where you thought it would lead. And I know that's kind of vague and that's kind of broad, but let me break it down into some more subtle details here. So the reason I'm drawn to that interpretation is, especially like the first thing that really popped out to me is purpose here with your Ask Your Guides Oracle. Purpose. You know, that particular figure, she has a star in her hand, and her eyes are technically closed, but her face is turned towards that star. And stars in cartomancy are often either about a goal in mind, something we use to navigate our life by, especially because when we think traditionally of stars, before we had, GPS and Google Earth, people would often, at least at night, decide their direction based on the stars, especially like, say you had a navigational star like Polaris or the North Star from Ursa Minor. We'd say, okay, we know I saw Polaris and I know that direction is north. So that's why it represents a goal in mind. That's why it represents purpose. It's the thing that we seek. It's the thing that we look for, the thing that we're going after. It's the thing that provides direction in our lives. And so I feel like you're coming to this reading with kind of like what I said before. I'm going in a certain direction, but I feel like it's either the wrong way, or I'm not sure this is the star that I want to follow, because, and this is based on the other cards you've gotten, especially tarot, because you feel like you're not getting out of it what you put in. It's almost like perhaps, you started on a new business venture. Just for an example, this might not apply to everybody, but you started on a new business venture and you said to yourself, okay, I put all the work in. I invested the money that I needed to make the thing or provide the service of whatever it was, right? And you put it out there into the universe and, nada. Okay. Came back limply, and you're like, okay, well, I did everything I was supposed to. I thought this is what I wanted, and I thought I was going to be golden here. I thought this was the right thing to do, but yeah, it's like, it fell limply. It's like, the imagery I'm being shown here from Spirit is like you letting a bird go to fly, and the bird just kind of, right after it went, it kind of crashed, or it seemed like it crashed, at least, soon after you let it go. This could have been something in the far past, or it could be something in the recent past, or maybe even something you're going through right now, pile number 3s, and that's maybe why Spirit is reaching out to you about this right here with the reading that you were drawn to. And what I'm feeling, though, is, yeah, I think for most of you this is related to career or like an ambition of yours, though I think there is some aspect of love here because of the heart. It's either something you really, really love to do, and that's why heart came out, or it could be that this is even something you're doing in tandem with someone that you love, or it could have been like a relationship that you really wanted. You really were focused on it, and you were like, with the bird example again, okay, let the dove take flight, and it just, crashed right after the beginning, and so it broke your spirit, it broke your confidence in, like, is this really the star I should follow? Like, maybe I should shift from, I don't know, Polaris to Algol or some other star, whatever, Alcade, a bunch of other stars, I'm an astronomy nut, so I could list a billion of them all day, but, you're like, do I shift? What happened? Why did it fail? I thought, maybe my heart wasn't in it as much as I thought it was. Maybe I came off too cold to this person. Hence, if this is like a romantic related thing, or if this is a business related thing, is my heart really in this anymore? Should I keep trying? Okay. And so what I'm telling you, pile number 3, is the secret of today. The main topic of this reading, what Spirit wants to say to you is, regarding this situation, the secret hidden from you is to keep going, because it's going to work out in the end. Okay? And I know that sounds like, oh, you're just gonna blow smoke up, whatever. You're just telling me this because you want me to feel good, but I'm telling you based on the cards that I have seen. Yes, there might be a little bit more struggle in the future for a while, okay? It's not an immediate, this is going to take off and you're going to be a millionaire, or you're going to get like the relationship of your dreams immediately, okay? There's work involved. I say that because you do have the Ace of Pentacles reversed in the near future. But in the outcome card at the end here, you have the 9 of Pentacles. And what the 9 of Pentacles means, pile number 3, is we've worked hard to tend to this garden, and now we reap the fruits of our labor, like I said when we pulled it out, okay? You're going to get the fruits for your labor. It's not all lost. You didn't do it all for naught. It's just that there's some sort of something needed before you get to that. And so, of course, your next question is going to be, well, what the heck is that? What do I need? Okay. And that's where the catalyst comes in with your card. Radical changes, taking control. There's something that you need to act as a catalyst to turn this around. Okay, and I'm going to try to glean that for you because I want to help you, pile number 3s. I want to make sure that, I give you as many tools as you need walking away from this reading to get to that 9 of Pentacles energy of, oh, thank God I put all this effort in and now I'm getting something back out of it. I'm meeting the harvest of the crop that I planted, right? So what is this catalyst? Radical changes, taking control. Let's try to glean that here. Especially, too, because I feel like this is very multifaceted. Some of you, like I said, it could be a relationship, it could be like a business venture, something you're passionate about. Either way, it's something to do with, like, your heart is very involved. So what's the catalyst here that's going to make it work out? Apologies for the silence, I just want to make sure. And especially, too, with the 4 of Wands here in the middle, is like the card of home. It's almost like you're thinking, should I just pack it up and go home? But you'll get there. Maybe I'll ask that as a separate question here, pile number 3s. I did for the other piles today. I asked 2 additional questions each. In the interim, I'll ask that question in a second here. I promise. We'll talk about what the catalyst is so that I can help you. But in the interim, while you're struggling through this feeling of, should I just pack it up and go home? Like, you know, the universe is not throwing me like a material, it's not throwing me a bone here with the Ace of Pentacles reversed, at least in the slight near future. Embrace this time of growth. Embrace this time. Okay, and I know that's hard to do, especially when you feel like you're failing. But I think what will help you get through is knowing that fruits of your labor, that Nine of Pentacles reverses at the end here. There's something about a perspective shift here with the Hanged Man. It's like it completely changed and broke your heart a bit when you lost whatever, when you thought you lost whatever this was, or whatever this is. Very, very core to your being here, too, with the Four of Wands. Sometimes I read that as the core because it's like the home card. Okay. But it's coming. That Nine of Pentacles, I promise you. And that's the hidden secret, is that not all is lost, pile number 3s. You're going to get there. For those of you in a relationship aspect of this reading, it might not be with the same exact person, but what you were looking for with that person. You know, one manifestation of that is finding what you were looking for with them, with somebody else. Especially with creating sacred, because that's where the material meets values, or the sacred. Okay, earth meeting dimensional, like it says on the card. And 2, if this is like a business venture for you, it's like the material meeting your purpose, meeting your virtues, your values. Okay, so let's ask, what's the catalyst? I want to know. Spirit, could you give us a little bit of a hint, a helping nudge for pile number 3s? What's the catalyst that will change this? What do they need to do, or what'll happen? Thank you. 3 cards, please. Because I want to, I mean, at least as a reader, that's what I really want to know. And I bet you want to know too, pile number 3s. What is the catalyst to change this fate? The 2 of Cups is sometimes the relationship card, harmony, okay? Can be contextual, so let's see what else pops out. We have the 8 of Pentacles, hard work, represented by the bees, okay? Yep. And strength, beautiful. Strength is kind of what it says on the tin. Willpower, the ability to endure. So, okay, pile number 3s, and this is going to be kind of a hard message to deliver, but just hear me out and listen to me, okay? The catalyst for this turning around, very strongly emphasized, keep going at it. I know it's hard. I know it's difficult. I know it feels like all is lost and like it's just been a crapshoot, but especially with the 8 of Pentacles, it's hard at work. I mean, represented by the bees, hard at work. They have to build the hive one piece at a time. And that's what the 8 of Pentacles represents, is like traditionally when you look at the, apologies for the loud motorcycle in the background. Traditionally when you look at the original depiction of the 8 of Pentacles from the Rider-Waite Smith, it's someone who is like working with a hammer at something. It's like a blacksmith. You know, a perfect sword is not forged with one stroke of the hammer, or even 5, okay? Like a blacksmith, sometimes to get where you're going to craft that perfect, you know, metaphorical blade, right? You have to keep hammering at it, and that's what the 8 of Pentacles means. You have to keep going, pile number 3s, even as hard as it is. Even if you feel like you've lost that North Star and you've lost that purpose, I promise you, keep going, okay? That's what the 8 of Pentacles is. That's the catalyst, too. And then, too, with strength is kind of the same thing. It's about having to endure even when things get tough. It's about willpower, especially, well, the traditional depiction is of a woman with a lion, and she's like prying the lion's jaw open, okay? It's about facing hardships or things that look scary, like, I mean, not any of us probably would want to dig our hands into a lion's mouth, right? But doing well despite that, or like this particular depiction of it is a bird surviving in a city, okay? Is it as easy to survive in the city as it is in a woodland for the bird? Probably not. He probably would find, you know, better pastures in like, say, a wood or a forest. But he's enduring, or she's enduring anyways here in the city, because they're resourceful and they found berries within the park of this city with the skyscrapers in the background. Being resourceful, keeping going even when the going gets tough. And then, too, the 2 of Cups is a fascinating card because this is about relationships and harmony in relationships, okay? So if this is a relationship related thing for you, pile number 3s, what you're being told to work very hard at is working very hard at harmony, okay? If it's that you still want to pursue something with, say it was a person that fell out of your grasp, okay? Focus on what would bring most harmony in this relationship. Maybe there was a conflict. So in that case, work on trying to come back to a place of balance with that harmony. Or if this is like maybe pursuing something with a new person, but looking for kind of the same thing that you lost with the first person that kind of fell right after it took off, really focus on working hard at harmony this time with the Two of Cups. Okay, that's for if it's relationship related. For those of you where this is like a career or like an ambition related thing or like a goal in mind, something very more tangible other than a relationship, look for areas where you can work harder with harmony. If it's a business, look for business partnerships, okay? Working with other people, networking, especially with the Two of Cups, is about how do we connect to other people and how do we harmonize with other people? How do we make relationships that are balanced here, okay? So yeah, like networking, it could also be like, say you have a business that works really well with, maybe not exactly the same kind of business, but something similar. Like, I personally make soap, so my mind goes to like, let's say you're a soap maker and you want to partner with maybe asking for someone to sell for a commission your soap in their store and they get like a profit off of it, but it's a store that aligns very well with that type of store. Say maybe, what's a good idea? Like maybe a handmade bath and body store. And so you ask, okay, hey, can I, put my item in your store? Something like that. Or it could be business partnership, looking for more harmony in a business partnership, or even maybe gaining a business partner could help. Looking overall though, for some sort of relationship that will help benefit this and working hard at it with that person. Okay, that's the catalyst for this. Harmony in relationships, working hard and enduring. Okay? I'm also going to ask one more question for you, pile 3s, because I asked 2 questions extra for the other piles. I want to be fair. One moment as I try to figure out what the third question should be. I'm going to just take a drink too. Yeah, you're very different from the other piles today. The other piles today, spoiler alert, basically, both of them were like, someone betrayed you. And I was like, oh, that's really dark. But yours is very inspiring, pile number 3s, because the hidden secret for you is that not all is lost, okay? I love to be able to deliver that kind of message to people, because that's why I do tarot, is to help people. Let's see, your third question, though. We already asked what's the catalyst and what you can kind of do in the interim. I'm going to ask, what will it look like when you get there? Or what's the sign that the turnaround is coming? Let's do that, because I want to have you have something to look out for, okay? So spirit team or spirit god, guardian angels of pile number 3, could you tell me what should they look out for when this time of change or turnaround in this area is coming? Okay, what will it look like? Thank you. 3 cards, please. Because I feel like that's a beneficial question to ask for you. Okay, definitely that one. We have the Magician reversed. Okay, something about feeling like we lack the materials we need. Interesting. We'll see what that comes out with it to give it some more context. We have the Ten of Swords reversed. Okay, yep. Can sometimes mean betrayal, but I think for you specifically, pile 3s, this is more about when you feel like it's at the end, but it's not. Oh boy, okay. And then the Wheel of Fortune, beautiful. Okay, lovely, 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 lovely. Okay. Pile number 3, so what I want to tell you, and this is going to be hard to hear, but it's a good thing, I promise. When it seems like all hope is lost, when it seems like everything is done, when it seems like you've lost all the materials to make it through, or you feel like you don't just have it in you anymore, when every last bit of your hope is extinguished, that's when your luck is going to turn around, okay? I know that sounds really weird, and I hate to have to say that it might get a little bit worse before it gets better. I think that's what they were talking about with your Ace of Pentacles reversed here in the near future position from the first 5 tarot cards, okay? It has to get worse before it gets better. But after that Magician reversed and the Ten of Swords reversed, that's when your luck will turn around. That's what the Wheel of Fortune means, is it's like a positive turn of luck in your favor, okay? Beautiful message. And it's too kind of funny that this particular depiction of the Wheel of Fortune is a galaxy, a spiral galaxy specifically in space. And we often think of, before we talked about the star with your purpose card, that's the thing that guides you. And it's like seeing that final, after a time of, it seems like darkness and going through a time of just the void, losing hope, losing faith, everything seems lost. Finally, there's that glimpse of, hey, there's a light ahead. There's a light at the end of this tunnel. And that's when your fortune will change. That's when this thing will turn around, okay? So yes, I'm sorry that I have to say it might get a little bit worse before it gets better, pile number 3s. But that's the energy needed to turn this around in your favor with the Wheel of Fortune, where things will smile upon you again in this area of your life. Okay, so just remember, when it gets dark again, when it feels like all hope is lost, when you get to, I always like to use stories as an example in my tarot readings because I feel like we all can relate to, we've all watched or read a story before, right? And this type of reading for you, pile 3s, is very similar to the part of a story where you feel like the hero has expended everything. They feel like, okay, the villain won, there's nothing left I can do, I've lost. It's called the Dark Night of the Soul in writing circles. That's literally the Dark Night of the Soul. This is a Dark Night of the Soul for you, pile number 3s. But just like in the stories with heroes, when all hope seems lost, that's when your fate turns around. Something comes through. Okay? And that's when everything will align again. So if this is a relationship for you, pile number 3s, it's going to get a little bit dark before it gets better. You might be a little bit single for longer, or it might take more work if this is someone that you're currently kind of with, or maybe it didn't go so well, but they're still you're kind of hanging on to each other, something like that. You're going to have some more work to get through before you get there, okay? Or if it's like you don't for sure you don't want to be with that person, but you're looking for someone new, there might be some time here of, wait before the next person comes along. But I promise your luck will change with that Wheel of Fortune. Same thing with a business. Yes, finances might get kind of tough. You might seem like this is the end, but that's the beauty of the Ten of Swords reversed, is it seems like it's the end, but it's not. And that's when your luck changes with this situation. So very happy to be able to deliver that message to you, pile number 3s, other than, the little, hey, the road there might not be complete sunshine and rainbows, but there is sunshine and rainbows at the end here. There is fruits for your labor with that 9 of Pentacles we had reversed. It's just right now you have to embrace the energy of the dark night of the soul before the dawn, okay? That's the catalyst for you, is even when the going gets tough, keep going, the light will come. And that's what I'll leave you with today. That's your hidden secret, pile number 3s, is not all is lost with this situation, okay? So, as always, I hope that reading was helpful for you. I wish you a wonderful rest of your day, and I hope to see you in the next reading, pile number 3s. Bye.